It's reimbursement for town cartridges.
Oh, okay.
Don just wanted everybody to
Oh.
see it.
That's the first of many, to come. All right. Because once it's, good to go. Good evening, everyone. The Town of Southborough Tricentennial Committee is now in session. It's Wednesday, September 10th. And it's 6:30-ish. First item on the agenda is the election of officers. And we have two officers, right? We have a chair and a vice chair. Is that it? I'd be willing to and honored to serve until June 30th. Is in this term as the chairperson.
June 30th, 2026.
That's
Yeah. I nominate Don to be chair. I second for the next year, for this year.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? All opposed? I abstain. Now we need a volunteer or a nominee for the vice chair. Why am I hearing crickets?
I'm happy to do it.
Oh, okay. Anybody want to nominate Patty?
I nominate Patty to be vice chair of the Tricentennial Committee till June of 2026.
Second. Motion's been made and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Okay, great. Thank you. Next item on the agenda is a reflection relating to Tricentennial celebratory events.
I'll bring Kathy over.
Okay.
Where did the link come from? Sorry. The email link I got about the meeting. So I'm not turning around. I'll just.
It might have just said meetings. We'll look that on.
I think that subject line is like rescheduled or something.
Yeah.
If you want, we can skip over to item 3, which is the approval of the meeting minutes. We have to take a motion for that.
Yes, I mean, so moved. I do have a couple of edits though.
Somebody got a second. Second. Motion's been made and seconded to approve the meeting minutes of July 16th as written. Any questions or comments?
Yes.
Patty?
Hold on. Line 43. Ms. Brisfier is preparing the next newsletter, which will include a kickoff of the oral history project and book sales, as well as upcoming events. And at the last line, draft a snippet of history for the next newsletter. That's it. Thanks. Do you need my?
Yep, I got it right here.
Okay, the minutes have been amended. So the vote would be the vote on the amended minutes. Any questions or comments further? Hearing none, all in favor? 5-0. Okay, we're gonna go back to A.
Yep, I brought Kathy over.
Oh, there's Kathy. Can she hear us?
I can.
Welcome.
Thank
Nice
you.
to- nice. Are you in the United States?
If you consider Tennessee the US, yes, I am.
Okay, so you provided the committee with a document called Funding Process for Southborough Tricentennial Events. And we have that. We got it yesterday.
Yes.
and have looked at it. And I prepared, over the weekend, a thing called Tricentennial Funds Tracking Process. And there's some, I don't think you got that, did you, Kathy?
I did not.
Okay, so it's very primitive. And there's, I think, more areas of agreement than not, but there's some areas in here where there's some holes. And maybe better ways to say it. So what I would suggest is what we talked about back in August, which is to maybe have two people from this committee huddle with you and another person on your board as you choose, and work this offline, because it can be pretty boring and detail oriented. So that would be my suggestion. But before we ask you to agree to that, I'll open it up to the committee for any questions or comments or suggestions in how we move forward with tracking the money.
So Don, was there a document that outlined what you were proposing or suggesting, or just was that from discussion?
It was, no. I made it up based on my experience with funds and funds management.
Yeah.
And I gave it to, did I give it to you, Vanessa?
Gave it to me,
Oh, okay.
but
Oh,
then
okay.
we heard something was coming from Kathy, so we kind of paused on it.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
So, what I'll do then tonight, can we make copies of this stuff?
Oh, I think so.
I think that it might be better to
No, it's
tighten it up a little bit. Oh, you mean copies to
Just to the
show
committee.
right now?
yeah.
I could email it to them. Yeah,
Oh,
no,
okay.
they don't have it.
Anyways,
What are you calling the document?
the one that I made up is called Tricentennial Funds Tracking Process. It'll take me about a minute to read it.
Okay.
And it was based on the flow from the birth of the money to this tricentennial, right up to the payments. So I basically said a sponsor completes the Southborough Tricentennial sponsorship form, which I think is not being used now.
I just put in a draft right there.
Yep, right here.
Okay.
I haven't gone over it with Kathy yet, so I reserve the right to make additional edits.
Oh, good, good. So then I identified, so somebody comes into this room and says, and hands us a sponsorship form. So rather than turning it away and say, no, you have to submit that to the friends and have them go looking for where to do it, we should be user friendly and take it. So then if somebody hands that to the Tricentennial Committee member submits it to the friends and emails it to the fundraising working group. If somebody hands the fundraising working group a sponsorship form, then same thing. The fundraising working group would then submit it to the friends and email the Tricentennial. And then if somebody submits it directly to the friends, then the friends emails the Tricentennial Committee and the fundraising working group, so that there's a paper trail, there's a tracking, and there's somebody receives that sponsorship form. So that's how it gets to the right person, the right group, which is the friends. And then I'm suggesting that we, and this is, I think, consistent with what the friends submitted. The friend submits a written report to the Tricentennial Committee 2 weeks before the next Tricentennial Committee meeting. Could be a week before, it shouldn't be the day before. So we have time to chew on it, but not have it be so stale that there's more money not in the report that we may have received. And that report would contain a list of sponsors, the funds committed and or pledged, the funds actually received, and the funds spent. Some of this stuff is a little bit ahead of where we are right now, but we do have a small list of sponsors. We do have a list of funds committed or pledged. I'm not sure if we actually have, other than the money that the town has in the treasurer's office as far as funds received and funds spent. So the Tricentennial Committee, we assign funding levels to events and or materials and reports the commitment progress in writing to the other two groups, the Friends and the fundraising working group. And the Tricentennial Committee submits contracts with vendors detailing the services materials to the Friends and requests timely payment in writing. And I think that's consistent with some of the language that the Friends has proposed. So this is really primitive and needs more detail, but it adds a few things that is not in the Friends funding process for the events.
So I have a question on that last point of, who actually approves, the expenses? So is that the Tricentennial Committee, or do we submit to the 501c3 and say we would like this particular event or item or bill, we're going to request it for approval? That's to me a critical point.
Keith, I think that's one of the items that's under, we're trying to figure out.
It's the latter. Who just said that? You guys are really small. I can't tell who said that. Who asked that
Keith.
question?
Yeah.
Keith.
Okay, hi there. So it's the latter. This is no different than any of the other Friends. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 Friends that are set up to, support departments, not committees, but it's the same thing. So obviously, Friends is formed solely for the purpose of raising funds to support the Tricentennial. So unless you ask for something really crazy, that wants to do something that has nothing to do with Southborough, obviously you should expect it to be approved, timely and paid. But it's the latter, not the former. So 501c3 has possession of the money. It's their money. They've got a charge as far as what they told the IRS their mission was, which is to fund the Tricentennial event. So we would then take a quick vote, which is exactly like the other Friends work right now. We take a quick vote and then proceed to fund whatever the item is that's been requested.
Okay.
So it's not a rubber stamp, but as long as it's Tricentennial, it's your job to figure out what you want to do. It's our job just to make sure we got the funds to do it. So to me, Don, the hard part is to stay in touch so that you guys don't commit more than what we have commitments for, so that we understand that piece of it, so that you're not legally obligating money that is not available yet. And of course, once a sponsor signs on the dotted line, that's a legal obligation. So that's what we need there. I think, Jenny, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think we've got about, including the town, 30,000, about 130,000 committed right now. So we're making some progress here. So Don, I don't disagree with anything you said. I'm not. We certainly can add to my memo to flesh out some of those details, but that's kind of the way the process would work.
Okay, and again, was there anyone else from our committee that wanted to comment or question? Or
I think this is great that you've started to work out these details, so this is good.
and it's okay with everybody to work offline. Two of our committee members, one of which would be me, and Kathy, and hopefully somebody on your board, and we can sit down and create a document that will clearly be available to all of us and the public as to how the money will come in and how the money will go out. There's one thing that it's in our committee charge that was initially set up by the select board on April 10th, 2023, and it was revised just to add 2 more members on just a couple months ago. But the original language is the same, and it's item says deliverables, and there's 1, 2, 3, up to 8 deliverables. And one of them is number 7, which says determine what subcommittees or additional staffing requirements may be necessary and seek necessary approvals and or permits from the select board. So there may be in our funds process further clarification on that, because, for example, fireworks. This committee does not have the authority to hire somebody to shoot off fireworks. The Friends, based on the funding, would have authority to pay for somebody to shoot the fireworks. But none of that should happen unless a fireworks is approved by the select board. And there may be many other things where we don't have to go to the select board and they don't want us to, what color is going to be the t-shirt or whatever. But other things that would involve public safety or utilities, traffic movement, and other things like that, I believe that this committee or the Friends have authority. There is quite a bit of authority that's comes from the select board, and this committee, I think, would, after huddling with the Friends or not, go, say in public that we're going to go to the select board for permission or their input on this idea to do something.
So Don, this is a good thing to discuss. France certainly has the authority to sign contracts if they so choose to. But when you've got something like fireworks that probably requires other types of approval too, Andrew, help me here. It's one thing to sign the contract with the vendor. It's another thing though, if it's something that also requires other types of approval, public safety, et cetera, who's going to get that? The vendor is going to want Friends to sign the contract because they know where the money's coming from. Your committee can't obligate the town as far as money goes. So Friends would sign the actual contract. And then we'd have to decide, what I think the other steps are that need to be taken to actually do what you want to do. And maybe you do that ahead of time. So certainly Friends wouldn't necessarily be responsible for getting all those approvals as far as public safety, et cetera. I would think that is your committee to do, working with select board, town, et cetera. I look at Friends as solely being the repository of the money, raising the money, making the effort to raise the money, and then dispersing that along the lines that we've talked about as far as what's appropriate for. And that's kind of it. But as far as, getting all permissions to do this and that, because you need more than just the vendor saying yes, I don't think that's the Friends' responsibility. Andrew, help me here. I'm not sure what you think.
Yeah, so look, I'm thinking of like Heritage Day, these parades that it's all organized through the Recreation Commission. It doesn't come to the select board for, let's take a vote to approve the fact that this parade. I'm sure that we can just work this out. And if you think about it, there's only like 2 or 3 big events like this that are going to have that level of detail. And if it's necessary, that's something we sometimes just put on a consent agenda, right? Here's a proposal, we want to do this, and it's just administratively approved. So I think, for like this item we're dealing with right now, this is just setting up the basic structure of how, funding works between the Tricentennial Committee and the Friends. I think this makes a lot of sense. We're doing this so that the taxpayers are not paying, other than was it $30,000 was appropriated by town meeting. as kind of seed money, that the bulk of the funding is gonna come from the Friends, and the Tricentennial Committee is gonna have some input, significant input on recommending to the Friends what are things that we think should be approved payment.
Well, I'd say total input, Andrew. That's where it's going to come from. France isn't going to decide what to do. You guys are. So he's right. You know, for example, the summer nights, we didn't sign any contracts for the fireworks at all. That was all done by the rec commission as far as the vendors that they hired, et cetera. So maybe there's not much else that does need to be done. I just don't know what the rules are as far as things like that you got to be careful about how you do.
I think you, Kathy, Andrew, and what I said is all the same.
Yes,
Better said by you two than me, but we're in violent agreement as to how to do this.
excellent.
We just gotta capture it in words, and clarify so that, but I know the flavor of this committee is to, have like no surprises and not step on any toes, make sure that we keep people informed so that, it's a team effort across the town. And if you look at, again, in our, charge, there's a thing here that says staff support is appropriate from the following departments: Department of Public Works, Economic Development Committee, Southport Library, Fire Department, Police, Town Administrator's Office, School Department, and other town departments or officials which the committee may consult on an as-needed basis. So this talks about the public departments, but there's other things that maybe, I know Vanessa and I have talked about it, but not done anything with it, like talking to the schools, the private schools, talking to the churches. So that's the type of thing that before I think anybody on this committee would do is to kind of clear it, at least through Vanessa, as to how to do it right and not be going behind, not deliberately, but unintentionally going behind the back of whoever the town's liaison is with those private schools or churches. So, okay, we've aired this out. So
Hey,
Kathy,
Don, a couple more things too, just to be clear
Sure.
and make sure everybody agrees. So the $30,000 that was appropriated by the town at town meeting, that's nothing to do with Friends. That is your committee's job to decide how to spend that. And there's a process you go through to submit that to Colin McAuliffe, and Vanessa knows what that is. So that Friends will have nothing to do with that 30K. That is for your committee to decide how to spend, when to spend it, what to spend. There is a limit, as Vanessa knows in the memo, as far as when you can start spending that. It's got to be proximate to the actual event, so a year in front. So you can't spend it yet. But that is for your call, your committee's call to how to spend that. Second, the fundraising group that I think is sitting in front of you. I see Jenny's blonde hair. I don't know who else is with her. So
Karen's here.
back over. Karen's there. So anyway,
Yeah.
So Jenny, Karen, Julie, Connolly, and Kelly. They are part of Friends. They're not part of your committee, and you don't want to be part of the committee because you're going to end up, I mean, you still want a subcommittee unless you have to have one, as Andrew knows, because then you're talking about minutes and open meeting laws and quorums and all that kind of stuff. So they're working for Friends. They got a lot more flexibility. We don't have to do all that stuff as far as open meeting law goes. So they're part of Friends. They are a committee working with Friends.
And just also, we can't express enough how appreciative we are of people who are volunteering to be on the Friends, because this is the most important work of getting the success of this event. So thank you very much.
also Kathy,
Yes, sir.
when do you want to meet, or when do you want to talk about when we want to meet?
I'm flexible. Stay away from Tuesday nights if you can, because select board meets, every other one. Other than that, I don't have a standing commitment any other night. So I will be very flexible and work around your schedule, and certainly make sure you get your report more than a week ahead of your meeting, as long as I know when those meetings are.
So how about I send you an email with some proposed dates, time and location, and you can pick one.
Okay. And of course, Andrew doesn't want you to meet on Tuesday night either, so same thing for him. So that's fine.
Okay, so expect an email from me.
Okay.
And,
looking forward.
do you have an idea, now that we have you, of how much money, the Friends has? For,
It's about 100. Okay, Friends has Jenny. Help me. I'm doing the. We got has committed.
So,
both,
Okay,
you know what? I apologize that I don't have my computer in front of me. I have a spreadsheet with everything that I will send to everyone tomorrow. That's okay. I am not aware of what is been sold for bricks. I think Patty is up on that.
Jenny, it's
We
about
have-
it's $100,000 more or less. Don, is what you're going to see when she sends it. We've got so Jenny, correct me if I'm wrong. We've got 4 $10,000 sponsors, 125. That's 65, and we've got 30 something in bricks. So
Right.
it's about 100.
I think that's great.
that's excellent.
As a, can I ask a follow-up question?
Oh, sorry.
And probably Patty knows the answer. When do you actually get the bricks? Is this, because this question was asked, in by my kids.
It's a good question. Yeah, it's a good question.
Do you know?
I think that this committee will draw a line, like we thought we were gonna, or make the first order last May. And, probably have to discuss that and say, all right, we're gonna draw a line on a certain date.
Okay,
Maybe an informed decision would be to talk to the brick guy and see, how that, if there's a backlog or what the delivery date might be if we.
Yeah, there's a manufacturing timeline, of course.
I have a follow-up question to all of this.
Yeah.
So we know how much the bricks cost. Who's going to install them?
that's something we're gonna try to get donated.
Okay.
I think from my recollection, Patty, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but we were hoping to get 100 sold before the first installation went in. So that we could host a party to celebrate and a Find Your Brick event.
Cool.
You know, the sales are a little bit slow and we are working on group sales, but I don't mean to segue into fundraising, but we, right now, the fundraising team is working on major sponsorships. So that's our focus. We need to know what, we're going to be able to pull in from the big major sponsors. So we know what the gap is for the smaller fundraisers like that. So we're kind of putting on hold our efforts at the grassroots level and going for major donors. Does that make sense?
and that makes sense because some of the discussions we've had, like the drone show issue. You know, like we first got to get a sense of whether we're close to there to we have enough money to do something like because it's way more expensive than fireworks. And then once there's a sense of it, then we can start to.
And that's what working on presenting sponsors for those big ticket items is exactly where our focus is.
So there'd be one person who would be like the primary sponsor.
For example, Falcone Energy
Oh.
is the presenting sponsor for the Fireman's Muster.
Yep,
Now,
that's right.
they're actually giving us more money than that's gonna cost, so they're gonna get recognition across the board. But they will be a named presenter, sponsored, that event is sponsored by Falcone, which is exciting.
Thanks.
Back to who's gonna install it. We, was it you, Vanessa, that talked to DPW, talked to Bill?
Not yet.
I thought we had, and DPW said, or somebody said, because even though it's town property, it should be installed by, professional hardscape. And that's what you guys are working on.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Anything more on this? So, okay, Kathy, expect an email from me. And we'll pick a day, we'll huddle up and we'll get this thing behind us. Next
Okay.
item. Thank you. And please stay till the end.
Well, I do want to hear what Jenny says, so I'll stay to hear her.
Okay. All right, next item on the agenda is determine plans for 2025 Heritage Day. If you guys remember, last year, it was just a few degrees above freezing, cold and wet, and we had our tent, 2 tents, right? Couple of tables, big banner. And
Is there a photo booth too?
There was.
yeah, we had the photo booth.
Yeah,
Cool. Didn't get much
yeah, the rain.
pull.
The weather's better.
Weather, yeah, we really.
So are we gonna try to do that again?
So, if it's okay, if I tell you what the Friends are planning, we are actually going to have a booth of our own that we can hopefully put next to the Tricentennial booth. I know Karen, you talked to Travis.
Yes.
About that.
Yep, and he approved a double wide 20 by 10 booth next to the Tricentennial.
Okay, and one of our fundraising team members is Kelly Wenzel, and she owns Theracopia. And she has been attended Heritage Day for 20 years as a booth participant. And this year she is offering to donate their massage services to the Friends to draw people into the booth and make a donation for the 10-minute massage. So we have gonna have our 2 massage chairs as well as our tables with all our information, and I anticipate doing another raffle like we did last year, which I thought went very, very well and raised money, and we did pretty well with our brick sales. So that's sort of the focus of what fundraising will do for Heritage Day. But hopefully we'll be next tour to you, so we have a big presence.
Didn't we have popcorn too?
We did. Karen got up early and went to Wegmans and we gave out popcorn, and you do tend to need food to attract people, but the little raffles also were a big hit.
Yeah.
Tina, you mentioned that Falcone Energy was going to sponsor the drone show.
Yeah,
Mustard.
Oh, I'm sorry, the muster, that's right. I'm sorry about that. My question is, would it be helpful for, we have a bunch of things that we're planning, or we have ideas about things that would go on for, the Tricentennial. And I don't know that we had a discussion about specifically what those things might cost and whether we would be able to find a sponsor for some of those. So let's take take fireworks as an example. If we had a budget number and said, hey, it's going to be $10,000 for fireworks, would it then be easier for you to go out and say, hey, we've got these various things that could be sponsored. This one's $10,000, this one's $5,000, this one's $20,000.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, while the fundraising team is working on the different programs or events that you people have proposed, we're tying that to people that we think would be great sponsors for specific events. Like, we have a general idea of what the cost could be for the drone show.
Yeah.
We have a general idea of who we're gonna ask for that. And be that presenting sponsor. So you're absolutely right. We're kind of keying in different events for different size sponsors.
Yeah, and so I'm thinking specifically about the area that I'm working on, this is like this music festival, and say, well, how much money do we want to put there? And that'd be a great spot. You get everybody, and maybe the sponsor signs up or whatever it might be. But you can't do that. You can't raise money for it unless you know what the target is, right? And what's.
Yeah, well, so, the whole idea is that we raise enough money that everything is inclusive to every resident and it's affordable to everyone.
Yeah.
And that's the goal. There could be a nominal fee, or there could be, it all depends on what the costs come in. And I don't think until you have a formal committee or subcommittee for each event,
Yeah.
you won't really have an idea of what those costs are going to be. But for example, there might be a participation fee from, the band, and it could add up, to what is necessary. There could be a small admittance fee or,
Right.
Things like that. But that's what we think the subcommittees of let me call them event committees.
Hmm.
So every event that we do is going to have a committee like what you're doing.
Right.
And that will be up to each committee to come up with a budget. But in the meantime, we're just gonna still hit the ground running.
Yeah,
to
right,
make as
right.
much.
Okay, thank you.
You just said that the committee was gonna come up with a budget.
The subcommittee.
What subcommittee?
No, well, like the parade committee. The house and tour committee.
Working groups.
Working
The
groups, not
volunteer
committees,
working
working groups.
Well, I think as the, I guess the
Parade.
group leader for the parade, our homework has taken us to, you can have a small, cheapo parade, or you can have, $1 million parade. And so, and with the money, we could do that. But, so I think what you just said was that you would determine the budget. I think that
No,
this
no,
committee-
I think she's just. Your working group determines the budget of what you're gonna need, and she's gonna try, if it, like, for example, the house and garden tour, we're not gonna need outside funding. So we're not anticipating the need for outside funding. But a parade, you might, because you have to pay people, some of these people to come.
Right.
So you are going to set the budget, and then they're going to try to find a sponsor who's gonna cover that budget to the best.
Or multiple sponsors.
Yeah, or multiple sponsors to cover that budget.
And we've come up with a working budget of what we would like to obtain. And that is 450,000, and that's broken down into,
Yeah, I don't think we really actually broke that fully down. I mean, we were basing that on all the other towns that we talked to and what they ended up spending. And it wasn't broken down by specific events. It was just like the general, this is how much they spent. So we needed to shoot for something.
yeah,
So-
we,
I heard what Patty said. Patty, I'd say it a little bit differently as far as, first off, be careful with working group, and Andrew can explain that in a second. But let's assume you've got a working group that doesn't have to have minutes and everything else and comply. I don't think you are trying to set a budget. I think you're trying to decide what you want, what type of event you want, and then what that's going to cost.
Yeah.
Rather than saying, let's set a budget and then work within that. I think you try to say, this is what we want to do, see if we can do it. The efforts that are being made right now to reach out to the bigger donors are ongoing as we speak. And so we're going to have that piece of it done soon. So we're going to know a lot more in the next couple of months as far as how successful that was. And that may temper what you're able to do, but you're supposed, you should, to me, you design what you want first and then see what it's going to cost versus saying, here's the budget, and then what do we get for that? We may have to ratchet it back, that's for sure. 450 is just a number now that we're shooting for because we don't have a more refined number. It will get refined as time goes on. But we want to try to fund what you want to do. So
Yeah, that's great. And I think that as we build out the calendar of events, we could put in rough numbers on each of those events, because there's certainly going to be events that aren't going to need direct funding, or like I said, the house and garden tour.
doesn't sound like your event is gonna need a lot of.
I don't know yet.
Which
We-
one? She's doing two. Which one?
Oh, okay,
Okay.
So the oral history. bit,
right, exactly,
But the cemetery, we may need some money for cost.
Yeah,
sure.
right. But I can't see that being the amount
No,
of a drown
oh,
show
no,
or
no, no.
something. Yeah. So there's
Yeah.
events
Yeah,
that
small.
are going to be really great events that don't necessarily need significant funding. Now, I guess we also should talk about, well, do they still get a sponsor?
Well, so the way that the fundraising group is approaching this is we're going after major donors and sponsors first. Then we're gonna tear down to the businesses and local organizations and hone in on them, kind of fill that gap. And then we're also going to be planning fundraisers in 2026 that are community oriented, that will raise money for other events. So there's multiple tiers to the efforts that are going to be made. That's just sort of the order in which we're going after them.
So for Heritage Day,
Yeah, seriously.
That should be agenda.
We got
So-
we got nothing.
well,
We got a
Well,
tablecloth.
well, what we did last year. I had a fun time doing it, even though it was rainy. And with some better weather, I mean. You know, I'm sure we'll sell some more bricks. A lot of people might say, I already bought one last year. But that's not a reason not to do it. So, I think what we did last year is one person, we just coordinated, some people brought water, some people brought tables and chairs and it all. I think there was some hot dogs or something was.
That was next to us.
Oh, next.
Yeah,
Yes.
chili.
That's a
Yeah,
chili.
sure.
chili.
It sounds like fun.
But we should do that again, something like that, right?
It's good PR, I think, just to
Absolutely.
touch everybody.
Well, don't you already need your spot? I mean, that's next month.
I thought we already had it, right?
We do.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It
And,
sounds like
and the spot is going to be next. So we're going to have 2 tents. So we're going to have a lot of exposure.
So we just
Does that mean
need to
we
figure
need
out what we need. to do.
Multiple banners and multiple tablecloths.
Do what?
and-
So this is the thing, we had to apply for a booth. So I don't know if you do
Travis reserves one for the committee.
for the committee. Okay.
We're set on our.
We might want to talk to you about getting some more tablecloths.
And the banner that we used last year, that spanned the 2 tents.
We're gonna use the tent that size. No, I don't think you have 2 banners.
We had one that was up high.
No, I thought we had 2,
No, you had the tablecloth and the banner.
1 6-foot banners. We didn't order 2.
I just remember one
Okay.
because,
Do you have a picture?
See?
I never have a picture.
Oh, I do too.
I got a
Somewhere.
pic-
It's fine. No, it's fine. I believe you. Don't worry.
yeah. Okay. More surprises to come.
Most of us.
Okay,
So who's going to spearhead that of getting volunteers and organizing presents
I mean, for the youth.
for Heritage Day? For
I
the
am not going to volunteer
Tricentennial.
to do that, but I will happily be a volunteer like I was last.
So we just have to plan an activity or
well, we have to.
we have,
Do
we still have lots
something.
of stickers.
I mean, we have stickers and we could do those coloring pages we had last year. I'm not quite sure.
Be fun maybe
What
to do a
happens?
coloring contest because last year we couldn't have the kids really stand there because it was freezing and it was
Oh,
raining. But we did get the pictures online on the website. And now that we're gonna have a better social media presence. We, could do a lot of marketing with. As long as we have parent permission to share tricentennial drawings. Anytime you involve kids, you get enthusiastic parents.
Have a trivia.
I think we have to have something, so I guess we can via
Do some
email
trivia.
Yeah,
come up with some ideas.
Just,
I want,
I mean,
And Patty, do you know what the inventory of the shirts is?
I'm not off the top of my head.
No, but do we have enough to get through this year, you think?
okay, next item is suggested event, health and wellness fair with local businesses. Jenny,
Okay, so, one of our fundraising team members who could not be here, Kelly, who I mentioned works at Therapopia. We have sort of divided and conquered our list of potential sponsors. And she was going after Reliant Medical Group. Well, every time you go after an organization, you have to evaluate what their sponsorship requirements are. And this is an example of Reliant Medicals, okay? You know, it's 2 pages of things that are specific to what your organization must align with their mission and values. So we kind of have to tailor every single one of our sponsorship packages to each individual sponsor that we're going after. Well, when she read that the organization, the event must be healthcare related, aligned with Reliance mission and values, and within Reliance service area, she came up with an idea because she has had experience in participating with a proposed event for a Southborough 300 Health and Wellness Fair. So I'm here tonight to pitch that as a potential tricentennial event, if we can get them to be a major sponsor to support it. And I think it is a perfect, we're very excited because it's nothing like anything that we have already been evaluating. And this would be, some of the program highlights would be free screenings, blood pressure, cholesterol, glucose, vision, hearing, skin, educational workshops, nutrition, stress management, exercise, fitness, demos, family wellness activities, maybe, you know, a kid's fun run kind of thing. Local provider booths, fitness events, cooking demonstrations or nutritional food booths, anything that's related to health, because that aligns with what their mission is. So, we now have to go through and outline, which we do, all the benefits it would be to them to have it in the community. The idea would be maybe to have it inside and outside at Reliant Medical so that we can use the facility and it gives them exposure. And they would be the exclusive, you know, presenting sponsor across all the marketing. And so we just kind of wanted to get your feelings on whether you think that would be a good avenue to go down.
Can I say something
Yeah.
about that? So I think that it's a great event. I feel that that is really important. My question to you is what you said included in that. I mean, who's gonna do the blood screening? I mean, the blood pressure screening, the cholesterol, who would they be the ones? Yeah, they had one before, by the way, it was Southborough Medical.
Yeah.
And they had the whole parking lot and it was kind of fun. They had fun activities for kids. But I'm just thinking that that sounds like a lot of work. I mean, are they going to participate or?
Oh, yeah. So part of their sponsorship, and I have an outline of everything that we would be asking them for. For example, $20,000 out of the 50,000 proposed sponsorship might be for medical supplies and things like that. So we go to that level where we break it down into specific things. It's again, just a proposal. It's just a start. It's just an idea to say, you know, but they would be the ones that would be supplying those things and those services. We would obviously have to have, you know, coordinators to work with them.
So they would be staffing. They would have like a patient care technologist.
Well, we would be using, right, local vendors too, like anybody that's health related in the town of Southborough, Root to Rise Pilates, the new
You
B-Tone.
would pay to have a booth.
And it all depends on how much money we get from
So
them.
if all these people are paying to have booths, who's coordinating this event? Is it a tricentennial event or is it a fundraising committee event?
It would be a tricentennial event. But it would be, so actually, we would probably have to get a working group to do the planning, which
Working group from the tricentennial.
it's just like your event, your parade committee and your.
Right, so there's somebody that's on this committee that's kind of the spearhead for the volunteer group that's, you know, helping to coordinate the whole thing. So you're saying that's coming from here, but how does that work? If
See, we
there's
don't
some-
think we can get them as a sponsor unless we do something that's health related.
Right, but their sponsorship money is paying for this event to happen.
And probably if they need staff, it's all included in that.
Why wouldn't you hire an event coordinator for something as complicated as this that knows how to put this together?
Well, they have put them together. Reliant has done these.
But so I don't understand, why aren't they just doing one then? Why don't
They might. They might. It's like, this is our approach, is to ask them if they will sponsor and do an event, a fair.
But if you're gonna, so you're asking them for a certain X amount of money, I don't know how much, but then it's going to cost that amount of money to put this on?
I don't think that it'll cost that much. But they're the ones that have the knowledge of doing this. So we're just,
Pays for stuff, like,
Well, I'm kind of with Patty this. Why wouldn't you just ask them to do the event?
yeah,
We thought it would be a fun event to be part of the celebration, like as one of the Tricentennial over 2027. I mean, it's just such a different event that would bring in such a wide variety of residents, and it's not like everyone is so into the house tour or this or the, so we thought this would be a fabulous event in the spring just for the residents. And so instead of having it as a fundraising event, Reliant would be the major sponsor, but it would be a fun Tricentennial of one of the events in the spring.
So. Don, my 2 cents are, I think this is a good idea. I mean, I think that. A lot of it just depends on, what is the donation that's contemplated for the friends, in exchange for this, but Karen, I'm glad you made that suggestion about the spring. I can see this as something, that would be maybe earlier in the event cycle, so it doesn't subtract from some of the other events that are really, thematically are more like tricentennial, historical.
yeah.
well, that's why if you guys thought it was a good
Generate
idea, it would be
Publicity
your.
and buzz about the
Yes.
event. It's
So-
also located very centrally in the middle of the town.
So I think all Ginny's really asking for at this moment is if they got further, correct me if I'm wrong, if they get further in a conversation with Reliant, that Reliant is in support of doing something like this, would this committee also support it? So I don't think that we have to necessarily have answers to who's paying for what at this moment. That's probably part of the conversation that has to come out of it. So, I mean, I think, what we probably need to do is just whether we offer a tentative approval based on more information to be provided.
Exactly. We just wanted to see if you guys liked the idea. And you were in support of us going after them to either do an event or sponsor something that the town would do.
Yeah, I mean, I think it would be great if we could somehow tie this into something, history, or like, not that we're gonna show bloodletting with leeches or something in comparison to what they do today, but just if there was some way to keep it with our theme would be.
I think that we could figure this out.
Yeah.
One comment from me right now is we need more volunteers, because I don't think that we have the bandwidth to do more, because we're not struggling now, but I feel like we need more committee members. So maybe we can.
We have things to talk to tonight.
Okay, maybe we can actually get very active at Heritage Day,
Yeah,
just to recruit.
That's true, that
To
might be a good
recruit,
avenue.
But I think that in the spring is the best time, because people are thinking about the bikini beach bodies. So I think that's, and it sounds like fun. I mean, I have to tell you, they've done it, and they did it many years ago. My kids were little and we had a fun time. So I think it is a great.
So Don, if we have to vote, I think what we should be voting on is just to say, bring us more information. We want to hear it,
Pursue it.
right?
Yeah, I would think it
Like,
makes sense
keep
to
an
keep
open
going,
mind.
keep going.
Okay.
Yes.
Because we don't want to, again, we don't want to apply for sponsorship for something that has nothing to do with health, because that's just not gonna fly.
Yeah.
So
One
that's,
thing that'll be different about this, I'm realizing like a lot of attractions of some of these events is unhealthy food, but they're probably not being unhealthy food. You know,
Exactly.
No ice cream.
There won't be a
Ice cream,
cigarette
hot
vending
dogs,
machine.
I don't think, so do we have to vote or what do we have to do?
It's this general consensus.
Just a
Yeah.
general
And
consensus
it'll be,
that,
it'll be recorded in your minutes.
yeah,
Yeah,
just
Covers
that
lobster,
we
yeah.
are looking to hear more.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Yeah, if there were more specifics, we'd probably
We can
vote.
make a decision.
Yeah, it's like the chicken and the egg. I
Yeah.
can't give you specifics until we even know.
Yes, looking to hear more information.
Okay. Thank you.
Anything else on that, Kathy? Anybody?
Well, let me just make one final comment on this. I think it's a great idea to continue discussing it, but where my concern was the bandwidth that I think Michelle just referred to. This would take a lot of time to put together. Remember the town, we've got to worry about liability insurance for all these events. And I don't think the town wants to go start, taking blood from people, et cetera, and be responsible. So I'm just thinking, if you had someone to put this one together separately, it's their event. And we piggyback on it, but it's their event. You might end up in a better situation than, and I was talking about this one. The other ones I think are fine, but this one seems to be rather complicated. Good idea, but complicated.
Yeah, keep in mind, Jenny, some of like what we've been talking to Travis about with like Southborough Summer Nights that we want to help him like supersize it.
Yeah.
So he's planned these in the past and we want to take advantage of that and let him do all of that. And we'll just help what we can to make it bigger.
Mhm.
So like Kathy was saying, maybe that's an avenue to approach them with how can we help you put this on and make it a bigger event and tie it into the Tricentennial.
Do they do a health and wellness event at rec?
No.
Oh.
I'm talking, take the Travis approach, but how you
Oh.
approach Reliant. That you've done these events in the past,
Yeah.
let's schedule one
Exactly.
this time and gear it toward the Tricentennial. And we're gonna
And
help
you
you
pay
make
for
it
it.
bigger and better. Yeah.
It was so for a medical.
Yeah. That's a good thought. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Michelle, do you remember if they had music at that?
I think we
I
can
don't
wait and
remember. I
get
think
more
that they had,
information
like-
back from Jenny.
But I mean, that's the type of thing that they put it on, they do it, and we say, okay, Tricentennial will have music there. So somehow we would supersize it or make it a few more items. Okay, next item on the agenda is the status of the working groups. We list this as the community barbecue, but I thought we said community barbecue and band concert.
That was the music festival.
Music.
Oh,
festival.
music.
So,
Oh, music, okay.
yeah, just
So
on
is
that
key?
point, I've been researching, options for bands and venues and things you can do with the festival. Talk to Travis at the rec department to see how they run things for their events. Michelle and I took a look at Chestnut Hills Farm. And I think at some point, that we need to have a discussion about what the vision is for this, because is this going to be something that's for a few hundred people maybe at Heritage Day or people multiple events during the course of the calendar year, or one big event where we have multiple bands and food trucks and maybe a lot of excitement around it. And depending on what that vision is will determine where it's located, what the options are for a venue, what we have surrounding it, whether it's just individual performances or whether it's once again bigger event with food trucks and things. And I don't know what exactly your thoughts were on it, or collectively what we want to do.
Can I make a suggestion?
Sure.
Keith,
Yes.
that's your job.
Okay.
I think that the best thing to do is, we're relying on you with your experience and interest in pursuing that to make a recommendation to us.
Okay.
And you guys can disagree, but to make a recommendation to us of how you would like to run it.
Okay. That's,
and we go from there.
yeah, I just want to make sure that, if other people had things that they specifically wanted, like Don, you just mentioned, said we provide music at the health fair, or if we wanted to have music at some other event. But if my, purview is a music festival, I am happy to put together something that is along those lines. And I can tell you, I was very surprised at talking to Travis, where they have their, they had a number of band concerts at Neary during the course of the summer, which attracted anywhere from 30 people to a couple hundred people. And I asked him about summer nights. He says, well, it's 4,000 or 5,000 people. So, so if we're gonna have 4,000 or 5,000 people or something, we need to have the right venue.
Right.
The right, there's a lot more that goes into those logistics. So I'm probably gonna go that route and scope it out, and then I'll come back to the committee and
Yeah,
say,
Keith, when you first told me about it, you said you already had some ideas, so you
yes,
definitely want to lean on that and get your ideas.
yes.
So you mentioned two existing events that are very popular. One is, of course, summer nights. You're right. I live right up the street. It's thousands of people there.
Yeah.
And then the food trucks up here at St. Mark's Field. The last night of the food trucks, I swear I saw at least 1,000 people.
Yeah.
It was enormous. So there's opportunity. There's probably not much of an opportunity to supersize summer night because there's already 5,000 people there. But the food trucks, there's no music, right? That might be something that could be supersized, or I think you said, or somebody said, standalone event. That may include food trucks, might include other ways of giving out food, and then having that maybe as like not the primary. The primary might be music.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, if you have a large number of people at an event, there's certain things that they need, and they need restrooms,
Yeah,
they need beverages, they need hopefully, some kind of food, or you can have people bring coolers in with things, but that's a whole nother discussion. So yeah, I'm looking at my initial vision was, maybe you have a 6-hour event, you have 5 bands, each of them gets 45 minutes, and you have food trucks and a big crowd, and
It sounds awesome.
so
Kind of like a Woodstock.
yeah, mini
Stop
Woodstock.
first
That's what
Stop first, stop first.
yeah, it's so anyways, all right, well, good. I just wanted to
Something like
So
that.
drone show, we have nothing.
No, but I guess the takeaway I have from this is stay in contact with the Friends Committee. Once I think they have the signal, like we feel financially confident enough that we can afford the drone show in our suite of events, then we can kick this into high gear, and it probably rely a lot on Travis because he did a great job of some of the legwork, and he knows a lot of the know-how. And one good lead we had was he found out that they're like the city of New Bedford had done something like this. So of course we're not as big as the city of New Bedford or really anything like it geographically, but that's good because then there's a person who talks the kind of municipal language who can help us and think about how you approach a contract and what were some of the logistical. So maybe, I'm thinking the target here is maybe like a year out, is when I know that we're kind of
Is this
committed
still-
to already doing this because I'm in the packet where it looks like there's a flyer of these are the things we want to do. And I don't know if that has already been distributed or you're just a
No,
draft.
that was just
Okay.
sort of a
Because
template.
that's
to put things on
telling
paper.
the public this is going to happen, right?
Right.
So I'm more cautious, but look, I feel like optimistically, look, we'll get there.
Is
There
this
were
part of
price
summer,
ranges.
is this gonna be at South Fair Summer Night?
I don't know if we
Or a
have,
standalone event?
I don't think you determined that
we
yet.
didn't determine that,
Okay.
but, and like, obviously it would be almost like cheating a little bit if we just like latched on to summer nights a little bit and kind of co-branded that, because a zillion people are gonna show up to that anyway, you know what I mean? And, but, yeah, the more I think about it, there you have it would be a little bit different because instead you have fireworks every year.
Mhm.
And people would be like, why is there a drone show this
Right,
year?
Because it's gonna have the
And we can
big
say because it's
300
two thousand twenty-seven, this is
Maybe it
special.
goes over the music festival.
So that would make the organization of it way easier.
Yeah.
Because it would fit into an existing event.
Yeah,
Well,
I think
yeah,
why wouldn't you do that?
Because otherwise,
Yeah, and
you
then there may
can't
be
just like,
more people,
throw
even
out-
more people.
Exactly.
you can't just throw up drones. I mean, there's gotta be something going on.
It's also because there's a spot we know that would be a good spot
Yes,
for
exactly.
it, and
It's already
I
popular.
thought that's
It's already
kind of what we were
popular.
talking about in the
Okay.
beginning, is just like. Kind of like that's how we're supersizing summer nights by like.
yeah. I'll talk to Travis about that, and hopefully the Recreation Commission is okay with it
Yeah. I
too.
think that is-
Because we wouldn't be looking to take over the
No.
event, just have
No,
a bunch of
no.
signs there,
And I mean, but maybe, we get involved in just.
signs,
We can
booths.
say the drone show brought to you by the Tricentennial.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Right, right. And of course, we have a drone thing that does the Tricentennial
300.
logo or the
Yeah.
300 or the whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would be memorable.
They did it recently in Hingham.
Oh, hang on.
Lexington did
Yeah.
it recently. You can watch their video from the Lexington 250 celebration.
Oh, great.
So it's becoming a little bit more common.
All right. So maybe that's our working plan to do that? Okay,
I would think that would be the way to go.
because that would be, I'm more and more convinced of that, because my fear would be,
Well, so
you know,
then
we just pick,
essentially,
we put a date and say, we're gonna have a drum, no, just no one would show.
no. The summer nights, and then
Yeah.
we're gonna kind of
Music
cover the
festival.
cost.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or the music festival, you could do it at the music festival, like close out the music festival with a drone show.
no, here's something. Some famous musicians like.
All right. Oral history,
So it's a
School
blend
lunch.
of supersizing
With pick mark.
events and creating new dates. Taking a chance on new dates for certain things.
well, we're gonna have a music festival, so if Keith can convince Andrew, that's the way to go, yeah.
I mean, I think that, it'd be similar to
That could be
summer nights,
cool.
you pick, what you want, but I mean,
It
to
totally
me, it's
could be
like,
cool.
yeah.
Close out the music festival with a drone show, yeah.
Historic events, oral history project, Michelle.
Okay, so I am in the process of waiting to hear back from Terry. I think she must be busy at this point of the year. We actually have completed 3 candidates, and we have a good list of people waiting to go. But the problem is I'm waiting for some dates that the studio is available, because that is definitely the place to do this. I mean, it's very professional, and the 3 people that showed up, I think that they went extremely well, and we've gotten some feedback from other people, and we have a list of people waiting to do their oral history. So I'm waiting for
That's
Terry. Yeah, so it is exciting. It's actually better than I thought it was.
Yeah, that's cool, and you have like a year to complete this, so.
Yes, well, the
Yeah.
thing is, I mean, it's definitely, we want to get some of the people in ASAP. But, if we could do like 5, if we could bang out 5 in one day, but it actually takes like an hour for each candidate. So we'll keep our fingers crossed on that one. And then, the other thing is the graveyard reenactment. Last month, it was canceled the day before, the meeting took place. And so I actually have sent an email and I haven't gotten any response, but I will wait to see what Framingham is going to get. We're supposed to meet with the people from Framingham who actually ran the reenactment there. And she was going to give us some ideas and suggestions. So I'm hoping that that's still going to happen. Otherwise, I think that we just need to get our working group together again after the summer recess and just get back together and get excited again.
Those 2,
House and garden tour.
get there to Vanessa.
The House Tour Working Group Volunteer Committee has kind of taken the summer off. There's been some emails back and forth, but they're gonna get ramped up again in September to start choosing the houses. I know there's a number on the on the docket to decide already. A couple have already committed, so I have the A team involved.
Definitely. Any questions, comments on that one? Next one is parade. Like you, and not for maybe the same reason, but parade, working group, has not met since I think June. Because we're at a point now where I think we've done enough homework, we have enough, resources, to tap, but no money. So, I'm sure that in the very near future, we'll be able to have a dollar amount, in commitment that we can work to, fill, with the list of many, parade, participants that, Westboro and, now Shrewsbury, have given us or will give us. Yesterday I had a long talk with my counterpart in Shrewsbury, Gail. Anyways, she sent me an email and then we spoke on the phone. And they're pretty much caught up, to where we are with the parade. They have a date. They have a parade route, which is similar to ours. They're going to, they have an existing parade route, which has not been, very well attended over the last few years, but they're gonna, add some length to that, parade route. And a commitment to us and us to them is that we're not going to, compete, for, participants. We're going to try to, share and, share information and maybe, theirs is only going to be, 2 weeks, 2 weeks before our parade. They're going to be in September. So, I think we're going to have some, more progress and better results now that we're, well, we had been talking to John LeBeau, who's the chair of their, committee, and now with, Gail, who's working the, working group. It's going to be, a lot easier for all of us, and, we're going to be able to step on the gas, and hopefully by the middle of, 2026, we'll have many, committed, parade participants. We already got some numbers from some of the people that have marched in recent parades, and, that's going to help us do the budget. So that'll be ramping up, soon.
We did have in the packet a sample parade contract. I think we just wanted to get some feedback from the committee. If you thought any information was missing or
I
wanted to
thought one
revise.
big thing that I noticed, so, and looking at it through a legal lens,
Thank you.
the part where, can I see that? Actually?
Yeah.
All right, so,
But this self-proized the Westboro, sample that they gave us, the contract that they used for their program 10 years ago.
yeah,
Of course, any of these forms would still be reviewed by town council.
yeah, okay, I know that, but it's just, the release here, it should be, I think, of the where it says sponsor should say participant rather than.
Okay.
And then just specify up here that the entity that's signed there is the participant. That's all.
Okay.
And just clarification, I thought last time we met, we were talking about paying people to be in the parade, and that contract read as if they were paying to be in it.
Oh.
Right, it says that, right, they're the ones that are giving money.
Well,
That's the way I read it.
so the way Westboro did it was there was some of each,
Okay,
like the big guys, Shriners, Clydesdale horses, yada, yada. You pay them.
okay,
Correct me if I'm wrong. This is from when I spoke to the women in Westboro. the little people like, you know, companies in town that want to have a booth or want to have a float or something, they pay, and it was like a nominal $50, I believe.
Is that what that contract is for?
This is just so that they don't sue the town for, or they agreed to indemnify the town if they do something.
Yeah, I mean,
like that.
technically, I think you need two contracts, one for those that pay you and one for those that you pay.
We'll pass that by town council.
It's a business, they want to. Ties, not,
Yeah, big float and
Yeah.
put their signs on it and whatever, but
you know, they like the Masons, they put in New York.
Do you want to pass that to Vanessa?
They have money, they
Thanks.
take their money.
Anything more on the parade?
No.
I want to, update on the bricks. Anything more on that?
No, I have no comments.
Okay, fundraising, did we already cover that?
Yes,
Promotion of Tricentennial newsletter,
I have no comments.
other matters properly before the committee. We have, someone in the room that is still in the room, did leave.
You haven't given up yet.
Before we go there, Dawn.
Yeah.
So I had sent an email about, like a rain date for the ice cream social. And everybody said that the 20th, except for Karen Englund, was available. Ginny said that the 27th didn't work for her either. But, she didn't say that the 20th was good. I think that we need to make a rain date tonight. So we can let the ice cream people know when, you know, how long we have to store the ice cream. And, the only thing is we need to make sure that the friends, that somebody is going to be available.
I
I
have,
double check, I can't.
We can do the 27th.
Yes,
I mean, given what Ginny said about it not being a priority, I have concerns. What she said, and that's what she reiterated to me in a phone call last night.
Well, I know that, I mean, I feel that we're already committed to that. We have sent flyers,
I
we
know.
have done, you know, social media, I mean, hung things all around the town. We are committed to that. The only thing that we need to know is we need to make sure that somebody from the Friends is going to be available.
So you're talking about doing it on a Saturday versus a Sunday? Oh. I
I
have
have to
something
check
on
the
it.
St. Mark's sports schedule. If they have a football game across the street,
Oh, yeah, we don't want to.
there won't be any parking. There'll be a lot of people. And actually on both sides of
Good.
Heritage, you've got, girls lacrosse, behind there, and then across the street.
Is that in the
Football.
afternoon too?
The football usually goes off at, I think 3:00. So, but there's other games that start, I think, around noontime. And they're all over the place. They're on the artificial field, they're on the grass field.
And we really want just.
And sometimes St. Mark's, they split it. I think is they'll have the football team play away. And they may have the other teams be hosting other schools so that it's not all, but I could be wrong with you.
The football game's away that day,
Which thing?
the 20th.
The St. Mark's?
Yep.
Oh, good.
That's good. And what about the 27th?
Away.
Can you look for the other sports like girls lacrosse?
The
Yeah.
all the soccer games are home.
Yeah,
Where's
those are
where's the
2:30.
field that they do soccer? Which field?
It's like right by the St. Mark's parking lot.
Oh, it is.
it's at 2:30.
2:30?
Field hockey's home at 2:30.
So there's 4 soccer games at home.
On the Saturday. Is that both the 20th and the 27th?
yeah.
Yes,
And
soccer's home. It looks like soccer's home both on the 20th and the 27th.
And the
Is there-
soccer games are at
2:30.
There.
2:30 to-
Sundays.
Oh, but there's
For like
4 games.
An hour and a half.
Hour and a
Yeah,
half.
different fields.
2:30, so it's at over at 4.
That's okay. You can have it.
What?
You saying what about the 21st? I'm not,
Yeah, you said you're not available either Sunday. Okay, I'm just gonna throw it out there. What if that's our shtick at Heritage Day is we're giving out ice cream?
Did you already purchase the ice cream?
We've
So
submitted-
where is
It's
it?
ordered,
it's,
With the vendor? Okay,
it's
so,
sitting in
but
Sperry's.
it's taking up
Oh,
room in its
it's taking up
freezer.
I asked him for a couple of weeks.
Yeah,
we're pretty close to Heritage Day, but that's still a
I
month
think
away.
ice cream lasts forever, unless you eat it.
how big are those tubs? Is it?
And they're pretty big. Oh, no,
It's
they're,
like 2.5 gallon, those
It
ones that are like.
is- it feeds 50 people each time. We can't put them in that freezer at home.
No, that's what I was gonna say, it's limited. Um,
I mean, I can talk to them and see, I mean, it is close.
why don't you find that out first before we schedule it on a day you're not gonna be there, because you put so much energy into this.
Yeah, I mean. What about Friday? Late Friday. Are there games in the teams?
We have practices. So all the kids practice until about 5 o'clock on the fields. But there's not other car traffic then, because most of them are boarding. There's most.
It would be hard to turn them over.
Yeah,
Oh, the students? Yeah.
it's not just to give ice cream to St. Mark's Catholic. Why don't you talk to Connor,
Okay, I'll talk to
see
Connor.
if he would, if there's some way we could hold this until Heritage Day. And if he's really reluctant to do that, we have to figure something out.
Okay, are people available on the 28th? Because, I mean, I have a commitment that I can not do, but
I'm available on the 28th.
I'm available on the 28th.
so we have to see if the friends, are you available, Dawn, on the 28th?
Probably. Yeah, probably. I don't know, but. Instead of the date. What about the location?
No, well, no,
Someplace
yeah.
that we're, if we're doing it on a Sunday, I don't think that we have,
There's no
conflicts.
events on Sunday, right?
Usually I can,
28.
I'll double check that. Not usually though. It's usually just a day where kids go off campus, and,
Yeah,
okay,
catch up on stuff.
do you want to look into that
yes,
first?
I'll find out from
No, that's.
Aaron, Ginny, and
Julie and
Julia.
Kelly,
okay,
yeah,
if the 28th
yes, I
If
mean,
we
it'd be
could at
ideal
least
to have
have-
2.
two, okay. All right,
Okay, so you'll get back to us.
You wouldn't consider the community buses on the rotation.
No, there's a reason that we were doing it there.
we just wanted to show that this is where your bricks are gonna go,
Yeah.
that's
I mean, that's
all.
The community house already has bricks
Yeah.
and stuff, so.
So
Okay.
what's,
We'll shoot for the 28th.
We're gonna shoot for the 28th.
What I'll do is I'll send an email this evening to the friends and see if we can get 2 people. If we can get 2 people, it'll be the 28th and we'll start fresh with social media.
and it
I
would be
assume
2 to 4?
Yeah, see,
I assume I'm still allowed to do that, to promote an event like this.
why not? It's okay that we're
It's a
doing this
fundraising
without the fund. What is the, okay. Anyway, that's why we need to have them there, because we're not doing any of the fundraising, we're hosting the giveaway ice cream.
And then get into procurement and all kinds of other things that it's done by a committee member.
Okay. And by the way, the trash buckets are still there.
I noticed.
That was awesome.
Anyway, so now we can move on to our guests.
Hi, Michelle.
Hi, everyone.
Do you have any questions?
Not yet.
Well, maybe for everyone
I
else,
will.
it's benefit to want to maybe just give an overview of your experience, why you're interested, Michelle.
Oh, sure. So I'm actually new to Southborough. I've only been here a year. My son is a day student at St. Mark's, and so that drew us to the town.
What is your name, please?
I'm sorry, my name is Michelle Oldershaw. And prior to this, we were in Lexington for 12 years, and got to experience a lot of similar types of exciting events around that town. My background is in marketing, events, fundraising. So I've done that both professionally and on many different committees for Lexington, for my son's schools. And so I was really excited when I moved here last year and found out this was happening. For me, I really enjoy being part of the community, and I felt like it would be a really wonderful way to get to meet a lot of people.
Great.
Yeah, sounds. Nice.
Yes,
Yeah,
so we would we have this penciled in for Tuesday night
Yes.
select board meeting for
Yeah.
appointment.
Excellent.
so you're still on board even after
I'm on
sitting through
board.
this meeting?
Oh, yeah.
So kind of like every one of us is spearheading at least one of the main events for the during the tricentennial year. We're hoping to fit in kind of maybe, hopefully one event per month. Sometimes there's a couple happening in the same month, but one of the major ones, and then somehow we're gonna get the other ones done too.
Okay.
So, but then you kind of get autonomy, a little bit of autonomy on that, and getting a volunteer group together to help you coordinate. Okay. Sounds good. Okay. Yay. Yay.
We meet, well, we're gonna get into that.
Yeah, so
Once a month.
once a month, Wednesdays, we're running a little late tonight, we're usually done by 8.
Okay.
And you know, then just kind of some,
Sunday.
you know, back and forth, like if you're, like Michelle and I have been working on that ice cream social and stuff, yeah, so, yeah, that's great, sounds good. And I'm excited to have somebody else that can help out with some of the marketing and design and stuff.
I really enjoy doing it, so I'm looking forward to it.
Okay,
Next, item was the community event calendar, which I looked at and, I thought it was pretty cool, but I think it needs to be, colonialized or,
branded.
yeah, using more, tricentennial look and
Yes, this was just sort of an idea, just to start getting something on paper.
It's a
so is it okay if we
Yeah.
find a volunteer that would, take
Yes.
what you did and, put this,
I
brand on it?
I nominate Patty, as she has the software, she
Well, what
created
about
the look.
Michelle? Well,
She
well,
did
marketing. We're gonna like,
Okay.
we definitely have enough for her to do. but
Okay, all right.
She's not even on the committee yet, so,
Okay. All right, that's a
I
great
can
idea.
get a template together for this, that's fine.
I would say important to make sure that all the materials that are going out have a real similar brand feel,
Right.
style, colors, so that everything feels coordinated.
Yeah, I think we've been pretty
Your t-shirt.
I think we've been pretty, yes, you need a t-shirt. I think we've been pretty successful in doing that, and that was one of the first things that we did is work on a logo and then, you know, get some stuff done with the logo, stickers and t-shirts and stuff. Yeah, great.
You're already on track.
Happy to help you, have you work on this. Happy. Okay,
So, okay, that's the community event calendar. I have something, the other matters properly before the committee. We're a little bit overdue, but we had talked, Vanessa and I had talked about putting it into September rather than the summer, which is the tricentennial report to the select board. This would be number 3. And, I'll be putting that together. I think you all have a copy of number 2, which we did last January. And, so I'll welcome any, input, for the report. The way we try to do it is not a whole lot of detail because that'll put the select board to sleep. And the details, we're not down into those fine details yet, but we certainly made some progress tonight with some ideas. And can capture some of those in broad terms if on the report to the select board and the public. So, I think I'm gonna be on the agenda for next Tuesday to submit the report.
Are you going to send that to us ahead of time?
Well, I was hoping, I will, I definitely will, but maybe, maybe, I don't know, for the weekend, over the weekend, I'll finalize it on, Monday, send it out.
And
Tuesday
why does
night.
it have to be on Tuesday? Why can't we push this out?
It's kind of overdue, but if you want to push it out, when's the next one?
You know, this is not if it happens on October
Yeah.
7th rather than September 16th, that's fine.
I think if you
October
push it
7th.
out and have something organized and put together to present.
So the October meetings are the 7th and 21st.
Oh, let's do it on the 7th then.
Is there any kind of repository for previous minutes, documents, that kind of thing for this
On
committee?
the website. I can send you
The
a
town
link to it.
website.
It's all on there?
Yep.
Okay, because anything that happened before I joined, and Michelle's doesn't have
Same.
the background, so.
We're also on YouTube.
If you have time to watch.
Yes. No, if you go to the Tricentennial page on the town website.
Yeah.
It'll give you a link to an archive of the meeting minutes and agendas.
No, excellent. Good idea.
So just jumping back to Heritage Day. What if we had a flat screen TV, something like that, with a thumb drive that would have all these old pictures that we got a bunch of them now in
So I
Southborough.
actually I did some research and I got a bunch of photos that I just sent to Terry. And I also sent it to Kevin on the Historic Commission too. And Vanessa had given me a website. I don't know if those are the same photos.
They may be, but if you could forward to me, I'll cross check
Yeah.
and make sure we have all of those.
But if we had that inside the tent,
If you remember that last year, we have an issue getting electricity. To
Yeah.
the tent.
You don't have a generator.
I have a tent.
You do?
Yeah.
I think that's a great idea.
So when people come up to the table, they'd look in and see us, and behind them maybe would be a TV that would every 5 seconds a new old picture of Southborough. Just an idea, and we'd have Michelle to take care of that.
So the
I'm
other
serious.
thing, so I actually, thinking about this, getting a booth together, I don't know if this is the appropriate time. Why don't we get like people to do Southborough trivia? Like to say, okay, at 1 o'clock, we're gonna have a trivia contest and we're gonna give a prize. And just have all Southborough questions, like. Who was the first selectman in Southborough, or just some.
Nobody's gonna know that.
No, I'm just saying, just to have some general knowledge, but also some trick questions in there too. I thought that might be fun to do.
Is that something that the other Michelle's gonna do?
I'd be happy to do that. Or collaborate with somebody, but I just think we have to have sort of like a game there.
We're gonna
to
have
get
something
people-
to get
Yeah.
people in.
And
Yeah,
that was just a thought.
And will we have donations for the raffle? Like we did last
we're
year?
not doing a raffle.
No,
The
right.
friends would,
Friends are doing
at the
a
next
raffle.
table.
Oh, okay.
Do
Anything
you
else?
have any thoughts on have you been to Heritage Day yet?
I haven't.
It's just like the town fall festival and a lot of businesses have booths and things and
Small parade.
there's a little parade that starts the day off and there's like food trucks and food people and craft people. So it's families, a lot of kids.
Tupperware, the garden club,
Yeah, so we need a little
senior center.
something to get people to come and talk to us about the Tricentennial. I mean, last year we sold T-shirts and it was really the first year, so we had banners and we did have a dress up booth. They could dress up in colonial stuff and have a picture taken. If you have any thoughts.
So the 16th.
Do you have a thought?
I have one.
One thought.
Sorry.
What's your thought?
I don't know if you're ready to entertain a motion or.
To leave, to be done.
Yes.
We
Well, we
have
have
to
to
set
pick
the
a
next
date.
meeting.
Okay.
Our next meeting. Okay,
It would be the third Wednesday, is that what we did, the third?
We've gone
The
back and
second
forth.
Wednesday, the second Wednesday is October 8th.
That has the benefit of being beforehand.
Yeah, I'd say that's good, October 8th.
what about the first?
No, that's the first. We usually do the second and the third.
Tricentennial is better in the spirit of last minute getting things done. It's the week before,
October 8th meeting.
nothing like that.
It would be good to meet on the 8th just to tie up your Heritage Day
Yeah.
logistics.
Okay. I move that we adjourn.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? We're adjourned.